So I wanted to make this video based on this story that I posted earlier today, in which I talked about how when I was putting on my shirt to go to the gym and thinking if I wanted to wear a hoodie or not, I was like, it's like 60 degrees out. What's the point of wearing a hoodie? I don't want to dirty up like multiple things. That makes zero sense. And so I was about to put on my shirt, and I realized, I was like, wow, back in the day, not even that long ago, within the last two and a half years, I would have been in a place where I was like afraid to not wear a hoodie. I was afraid to show my arms bare at the gym because I was afraid that I was too small. I was self-conscious that like my arms weren't big and they weren't pumped, so I didn't want anyone to see them. Okay, so why am I bringing this up? To live your life based on your own ego unconsciously, meaning that you're not aware of it, meaning that it's not something you think about before you do it. You just do it, and you just are like, yeah, that's just how I do it. Like I just wear a sweatshirt on leg day, but in reality, what you're saying is I'm afraid that people will see my arms and they're too small for me. So you're judging yourself, and in that case, obviously, you're going to see judgment on other people as well. But why this is important is because what I realized was that to live in the custody, right, the grips of my ego like that, where something very rational, like just wearing one thing to the gym to get dirty instead of three, just because I was afraid to show off my arms, because I was afraid they weren't big enough, to live in the custody of that, or live in the grips of that, or live under the oppression of that, literally made no sense to me. And my friends, I'm telling you, awareness is the answer. We need to all become more aware of ourselves, because that's so silly. And so what happens when we put on the hoodie and we hide ourselves? We judge ourselves. We're like, I'm not big enough. Even on arm day, our pumps aren't big enough for everybody. And what does that do? It just creates resentment towards yourself of like, my arms aren't good enough. My arm genetics aren't good enough. I mean, I don't even want to think about how many of you have spent so many fucking hours on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, comparing yourself to the top fitness models, fitness athletes in the world, who, not all of them, but a large majority are on steroids. And you will not most likely look like them unless you do the same or beyond that. And just compare yourself because you don't think your arms are big enough. See, this doesn't even have anything to do with the wearing the hoodie on leg day. This has everything to do with your own self-esteem based on the fact that you don't think your arms are big enough. I got news for you. Your arms don't define who you are. Your arms don't define who you are. Okay? Neither do your abs or your legs or your physique for that matter. When we're talking about pillars of growth and MBS within pillars of growth, and specifically the body portion, we're talking about shifting your energy physically by taking action consistently, eating the right stuff nutritionally, and moving around consistently in your life. We're shifting our energy and we're vibrating at a higher frequency. It has nothing to do with you being the most ripped, most jacked, the healthiest person on the planet. It has everything to do with you being better than you were yesterday and working towards moving past those limiting beliefs, moving past those judgments you put on yourself, and living a life of honesty and truth and integrity within yourself, because you're not living under the oppression of your ego, which was created based on your ridiculous comparisons that you make with other people who are 10 years ahead of you on their journey and perhaps on steroids. Or genetically, like you just don't have long like, oh my God, I have to show you. This is crazy. I'm doing it. I don't even give a fuck. I'm driving in traffic, but we out here. Bear with me. Okay. I'm literally okay, so why am I doing this? I want to show you something that's been bothering me, that used to bother me all the time, that no longer bothers me. I used to be super self-conscious because I have a super short muscle head on my bicep. My biceps are super short, right? Look how short they are compared to my arm. My arms are short for that matter. People always agree with such a big chest, like, da, 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 da. My arms are short and they're just not that long. I don't have those naturally ripped, sexy arms. I never have in my whole life. I was a short, chunky, chubby kid, and everyone knew me like that, and I was bullied like that, right? But to let that define me as I grew older, it just doesn't make any sense, because as we come into awareness and we realize that it's not our arms that make us happy, it's not our arms that build our self-esteem, it's not our arms that create deeper connections, it's ourselves. It's our mind, body, and spirit connection with who we are that allows us to go deeper and make positive and powerful connections with other people. For all you guys out there who think having a ripped body is going to get you more girls, that's not the truth. Girls want a king. They want the masculine, divine king. They want someone who's honest, who has integrity, who's true to themselves, who stands up for what he believes in, who lives an honest life. That is what they want, whether they're aware of it or not. And if they're pretending like they're not, they're lying to themselves, and that's a whole nother topic. But I just wanted to put it out there for us today because I know that it's something that's really scary for a lot of us guys, and I know it's not easy for us to come into a place where we no longer care how we look when we go to the gym. But I felt the need to go into it because I had like 5 messages within the first 60 minutes that I posted it, which really, really blew my mind. I was like, wow, I forgot that this is such a prevalent topic. This is something that goes through everybody's head. And what I'm telling you is you are not your body. You are not worth your body. Does that make sense? Like, your body does not define your worth. Therefore, to judge yourself or live a life where you're afraid to take off your sweatshirt at the gym because you don't want to be judged by other people is, first of all, it's just you judging yourself. No one's judging you. Yeah, a couple people might look over, but that's them judging themselves. Again, another topic. But you don't need to live in that way. And I'm telling you, like, I'm someone who really was embarrassed to go on stage with short arms, man. Like, I competed in the bodybuilding, and I was embarrassed for a while because I was like, my arms aren't big enough. I was fucking ripped, man. Like, I looked great, but it wasn't enough for me because I wasn't enough for me. Not because my arms weren't enough. I wasn't enough for me. Just wanted to make that distinction as I'm fucking half naked. We out here. Much love to you all. Use your gifts. Serve one world. Legends find a way, baby. We out here. Be good, be safe.